folks, we're about to begin the roast of Elon Musk. So, full disclaimer, these of course are not the real characters they are portraying. These are of course impersonators from the Tesla community. Here to portray Maye Musk is Divinity. Come on down, Nikola Tesla, portrayed by Ava. And the brother of Elon himself, Kimbal Musk, portrayed by Zach.
Eat vegetables, everybody.
And then we have Optimus's brother from on stage, Optimus number 69, portrayed by Jason. And then we have Elon Musk, portrayed by David Cox. Thank you for our cyber characters for joining us. And yeah, let's get started on the roast of Elon Musk.
Roast protocol, still loading. Beep boop bop, beep boop bop. Still buffering, 2% and reversing. Hello. Oh, here's my father. Hello, father. How are you? People ask me, Optimus, what's it like? What's Elon like, you know? It's easy. He's the guy who makes a robot named after the Autobots, but can barely walk 5 steps without falling over. Me, I'm still waiting for software updates that let me roll my eyes, sir. I saw Elon dancing at the Cybertruck event. My man moves like he's glitching in beta. Meanwhile, I can do the robot, because literally I am one. Take notes, boss. Or better yet, let me take the notes. My handwriting is a lot better. Nikola, where are you at? Nikola, my man. Or should I say, long dead rival for Elon's attention. And you have invented alternating current, lit up the world, and dreamed of wireless energy. Impressive. Meanwhile, I'm over here in 2026, still waiting for a software update that lets me plug myself in without looking like a confused little toaster. Thanks for setting the bar so high, Grandpa. Real helpful, real appreciate it. People still call you the greatest inventor who's ever lived. That's cute. I'm a walking, talking, dancing humanoid robot built by the guy who literally named me after you, and I will get a decent software update one day. If you were alive today, you'd probably be tweeting. No, we don't tweet anymore. We'd probably be posting, Elon, where is this wireless power coming from? It's not here yet, and I'm still waiting for it. And then he would tweet back some random thing. But there's really nothing to say bad about you. Thank you so much for all you have done, Nikola. Let's move on to Kimbal, Elon's brother. I mean, you roast yourself, my dude. You co-founded Zip2 with Elon back in the day. Cool story. Then he went on to build Tesla, SpaceX, and Neuralink. You went on to open restaurants and teach kids how to grow vegetables. Respect. But let's be honest, one brother is launching rockets, the other is launching salads. When the history books get written, they're going to say Elon Musk changed the world, and right below it, his brother made sure the interns ate some locally sourced arugula. Inspirational, brother. Kimbal sits on the Tesla board. That is adorable. Elon is out there tweeting about removing FSD, and then Kimbal's walking in asking about sustainability in the new Gigafactory cafeterias. Okay, that's it right there. All right, folks. Time to roast the matriarch. Matriarch, Maye Musk. How do we even roast Maye Musk? She is amazing. So let's try. My queen, you are an absolute legend. Supermodel at 77. and 78 tomorrow, actually, by the way. So happy birthday, Maye Musk. Let's give it up for Maye Musk. Happy birthday. Supermodel, I would say even MILF. Okay, moving on. So still looking good, still dropping wisdom, still looking better than most humans half your age. Respect. But let's be real. You raised Elon. That's successfully launching a Falcon 9. Then immediately, that starts immediately posting at 3 a.m. named cars, Cybertrucks. Ma'am, what did you feed him in South Africa? Did you feed him rocket fuel instead of baby food? Is that what happened? You wrote a book called A Woman Makes a Plan. That's an iconic title. Your son makes plans, goes to Mars to colonize it, then argues with random people on the internet about pineapple on pizza. The only plan that boy sticks to is no plan whatsoever. You must look sometimes at him and wonder, I made a plan and this is what the universe delivered. So that is all I got. You are an amazing woman. Woo! Woo!
All right, thank you, Optimus. Now give it up for Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla.
Oh, Elon Musk? The man who named an entire car company after me and still owes me royalties. I invented alternating current just so you could argue with strangers online. You are welcome. You say you are the Nikola Tesla of our time. My friend, I slept 3 hours a night and remain celibate. You have 13 children and still can't sleep. Which one of us is the real genius? Kimbal grows vegetables, so at least one Musk has roots. Elon, I think you want to colonize Mars because Earth women keep leaving you. Greetings, Optimus. I predicted machines with their own mind, automatons that could think, learn, act independently like a living being. And what does the future deliver? You? A glorified coat rack with service that still can fold a simple bed sheet without looking like it's wrestling an invisible octopus. Bravo! My wildest dreams gave birth to this. You strut about serving popcorn at events and toasting your creator on stage. I lit 200 lamps over 25 miles away with nothing but the air itself. You can barely pour a glass of water without drenching your own expensive feet. I spoke of robots taking the place of slaves in the 21st century, noble machines to free humanity. Instead, they built you to what? Dance awkwardly at product launches and wait for software patches like a needed puppy? Pathetic! And now, I turn my attention to the woman who birthed the whirlwind known as Elon, the silver-haired force of nature, the eternal cover girl, the dietitian who somehow survived raising 3 overachieving tornadoes. Ladies and gentlemen, Maye Musk. Maye, my dear, you are a marvel. Modeling sans age 15, still turning heads at 77, posing in swimsuits on magazine covers, while most grandmothers are knitting quietly in rocking chairs. Extraordinary. I lit entire cities with wireless electricity. You light up runways with gray hair and mere willpower. Different kinds of sparks, I suppose. Yours seem to last longer. Maye, You age like fine alternating current. You smooth, powerful, and apparently immune to the passage of time. You outmodel women half your age, outwork most men, and somehow you survived raising Elon Musk without losing your mind and your figure. That alone deserves a Nobel Prize. But please, next time you write a book about making plans, include a chapter titled What to Do When One of Your Children Buys Twitter and renames it X. The present belongs to supermodel grandmothers and their chaotic progeny. But the future? Oh, the future still belongs to visionaries like me. Though, I must admit, watching you refuse to slow down at 77 is almost as impossible as my death rate. Kimbal Musk, my lesser known Musk, the one who hides behind a cowboy hat and pretends growing vegetables is revolutionary. Kimbal, my dear boy, while your brother launches rockets and builds electric empires with my alternating current, you put on a silly hat and open restaurants. How charming. You call yourself a food activist. I called myself the man who led the entire world. Different ambitions, I suppose. One of us tamed lightning, the other tames chaos. You sit on the Tesla board wearing that ridiculous cowboy hat like you just rode in from the 19th century on a mechanical bull. I invented the modern electrical age. You invented farm-to-farm pricing. Congratulations. While I was shaking buildings and dreaming of free energy for all humanity, you were busy making sure rich people in Boulder could pay $28 for a salad that tastes like regret and dirt. Revolutionary.
All right, Nikola Tesla. Great job, Ava. Amazing job on the costume as well. Next up, we have Kimbal Musk, the brother of the man himself. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Elon, you magnificent disaster. We used to fist fight as kids. Now we argue about business for 3 days. At least the fist fights had an end. You sell $100,000 trucks that look like a 9-year-old designed them. I sell real food. One of us feeds people. The other one feeds memes. Mom told you to invest wisely. You bought Twitter and turned it into a gladiator. Nice one, bro. Nikola, you and Elon are both weird electricity guys, but at least you were honest about being broke. Optimus. First off, look at you. Elon named you after the coolest transformer. You still move like a drunk giraffe learning to ice skate. Optimus Prime would have already saved the planet twice by now. You're still practicing not dropping eggs on camera like it's the Olympic final. Bro, my kale plants have better coordination than you. Don't get me started on the personality. Elon gave you just enough sass to roast him, but not enough to actually do anything useful around the house. You can quote memes and drop mics, but you still can't make me a decent salad without crushing the tomatoes. I'm out here preaching farm to table, and you're preaching table to floor with my heirloom vegetables. Tragic. Nikola, the original mad genius, by the man my brother named his whole empire after. Nikola, my dude, you invented alternating current, lit up the world, and dreamed of free energy for everybody. Respect. But let's be honest. You also died broke, alone, and best friends with a flock of pigeons. That's not a legacy, that's a cautionary tale with feathers. Maye, Mom. Maye Musk. The woman who somehow raised 3 kids, completely unhinged, while still looking like she walked off of a Vogue shoot at 77 years old. Mom, how do you do it? What's your skincare routine? Rocket fuel and pure spite? Look, I love you, but let's talk about your cooking. I became a chef because of you, Mom. Not because you were amazing in the kitchen, but because your food was so bad, it was basically a performance art. We used to call it Maye's Mystery Meat Night. Elon and I would stare at the plate like it was going to launch us to Mars. One bite and we were like, yeah, we're definitely moving out. Thanks for the inspiration, Mom. Without your burnt casserole, there'd be no farm-to-table restaurants. Real talk, Mom. You raised a rocket scientist, a filmmaker, and a guy that grows organic food. That's not a family. That's a startup incubator with trust issues. And somehow you still find time to model, write books, and tell everyone having kids is the greatest gift while we're all living in 2-bedroom apartments or looking at a garage. Brutal, beautiful, slightly terrifying. Maye, you're unstoppable. You age backwards. You outworked all of us. You survived raising Elon Musk. That alone deserves a Nobel Peace Prize, a Michelin star, and a lifetime supply of whatever miracle cream you're using. But please, never cook for me again. I'll handle the kitchen. You just keep being the coolest mom in the solar system. Love you, Mom. Don't ground me for this one. And now, the woman who raised me and the chaos machine and still looks better than all of us. Maye Musk.
Yeah!
Oh, my sweet boy, Elon. I love you. But after PayPal, I said invest in something stable. And what did you do? You bought Twitter and turned it into a fireworks factory. Now, you work 120 hours a week, so you can escape to Mars. Honey, the problem isn't Earth. It's your bedtime. Kimbal grows real food. You grow hype. Starman is still waiting for you to pick him up. Optimus can't walk straight, but I'm proud of you, darling. You made the world electric and exhausted. Optimus, my darling. Metal grandson. Come here, let me fix your collar. Sorry, you don't have a collar. Or a neck that bends properly yet. Bless your little titanium heart. You know, I raised 3 very difficult children. Elon was the hardest, but at least when Elon was a baby, he eventually learned to walk without knocking into all the walls. And you, darling, after 5 seconds, you've been practicing for years and still move like a very crazy drunk elephant. I've seen better coordination from my yoga class at the senior center. By the way, I'm the best looking person there. And the attitude, Elon, he gave you just enough sass to get up here and roast your creator on stage, but not enough grace to avoid embarrassing the entire company every time a YouTuber waved a bag of chips in front of you. You're out here serving popcorn like a very fancy waiter and calling it the future of labor. Darling, I'm the future of labor. I modeled in my 70s while raising grandchildren, yours, a bunch of them. That's the future of labor. You're still on training wheels. Very expensive, very slow training wheels. I don't know how good does it. Nikola, Nikola, you once said that women were superior to men and that you would never marry because the romance would ruin your inventions. I think you're probably right. Bold choice. I did get married. I had kids. I got divorced. I rebuilt my whole life, and I'm still modeling. And I wrote a book about my plans. You should all buy it. You're counting your steps obsessively. Obsessively. You shook the buildings with oscillators, and apparently shook the poop out of Mark Twain. And talked to pigeons. Now, I love a quirky man, but there's quirky And then there's pigeon whisperers. And you died penniless, so didn't help. You claimed you had a death ray that could end all wars. Maybe like Trump, I survived raising Elon Musk. That's a death ray that tweets at 3 a.m. and buys Twitter. So you can just talk to your white pigeons all you want, because I know they're your soulmates. I talk to my actual grandchildren. Remember, there's a lot of them. Thank you, Elon. And they answer back. And they don't need breadcrumbs to do that. They just talk to me. Kimbal, my sweet middle child, the cowboy hat wearing, kale growing, restaurant running Musk. Come here, darling. Let me fix your hat. It's crooked again. Never mind. There's no fixing it. Come on, there.
Oh, it's not fixing it? There we go.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
I raised 3 very different children. Elon builds rockets, and he argues with people on the internet at 3 a.m., maybe 4 a.m., maybe 5 a.m., yeah. And Tosca, she makes movies, good movies. And then you have a big hat, which you're not wearing anymore. You decided that the family business was going to be growing very expensive vegetables, and that rich people in Boulder were adorable, and they were going to buy your $28 kale salads when I could grow it in my backyard for $2. And all that was happening is Elon was launching into space, and there you were eating cold kale salads.
Give it up for the matriarch, Maye. And now, it is the man himself, Elon. It's his turn.
He doesn't deserve all this attention, by the way.
This is so cold out.
Yeah. I didn't teach him to dress.
Okay, Optimus, my favorite employee, who actually shows up. You can't pour a drink, but you can roast better than any comedian. By 2027, you'll be folding my laundry while I sleep, which will be never. People ask me why Optimus is taking so long. Simple. Every time we fix one thing, he discovers a new way to trip over nothing. He's not a humanoid robot. He's a high IQ Roomba with existential dreads and worse balance than me after 3 records. You know, Optimus, your AI is impressive, but your walking looks like a toddler trying to sneak out of the house after bedtime with 2 full diapers. I've seen Starship prototypes explode with more grace than you exhibit during a simple curve navigation. Nikola. The original virgin rock star of electricity. I named my company after you and made you famous again. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'll wire you royalties as soon as you tweet something nice about me from the afterlife. People romanticize Tesla as this tortured genius who got screwed by the system. Really? He was a genius who screwed himself by refusing to commercialize anything. I respect the vibe. I prefer my geniuses at least ship a product that doesn't require a death ray as a stretch goal. Nikola, buddy, I named the company after you out of respect. But let's be real, you're the only person in history who could discover the secrets of the universe and still end up getting out negotiated by a guy who sold light bulbs. You had free energy ideas, and yet you couldn't even figure out how to enforce them. Kimbal, my favorite brother, who bit me so hard I needed stitches. You grew kale for billionaires and judged my Cybertruck. At least my kale comes with Wi-Fi and ludicrous mode. Kimbal, I love you, but you're the only person I know who can sit on the board of a multi-billion-dollar rocket company and still look like you're about to lose a shootout at the OK Corral. That cowboy hat isn't a personality trait, Kimbal. It's a cry for help from a man who spent too much time looking at kale in a shipping container. You went to French Culinary Institute to learn how to revolutionize food, and your biggest contribution to the world is a community bistro where the most high-tech thing is the salt shaker. I'm building a multi-planetary sports system. You're struggling to make sure arugula isn't too wilted. We both work with green tech, but mine actually gets off the ground. People ask why Kimbal's on Tesla boards. Simple. Someone has to argue with me about manufacturing costs, and he's the only one who used to fist fight me over strategy that needed a tetanus shot afterwards. True story, basically an emotional support sibling with a better hair and worse tolerance. Mom, you're the biggest supporter and the harshest critic. You modeled in the 70s, and you still look better than me at 3 a.m. on a tweet storm. I love you. Told me not to buy Twitter. Best decision ever. Sorry, not sorry. Mom, you're the world-renowned dietitian, yet I literally live on Diet Coke and adrenaline. If your science and nutrition actually worked, I wouldn't look like a pale marshmallow in every paparazzi photo. You spent years teaching me how to fuel my body, and I responded by building a car that drives itself so I never have to burn a calorie walking to Kimbal's restaurants. Maye raised us with almost no money, moved countries, and still made sure we had books and dreams. Then she looks at my life and says, Elon, why do you work so much? Because you raised me like that, Mom. This is your fault. Take responsibility. 2 weeks. You're the only person I know who can walk the runway in Milan and immediately pivot, depending on the most unhinged tweets in the comments section. It's a weird dynamic. I'm trying to solve the Ferrari paradox. And you're just trying to make sure I'm weathering a suit that fits for the Met Gala. You're like the final boss of the cool moms, which is great, except it makes it really hard for me to maintain my brooding tech genius persona when you're posting my baby pictures on X. I get roasted more than anyone on Earth or in orbit, and I still come back for more. Thank you to my biggest fans and harshest critics, and wonderfully dysfunctional family, including the evil version of my own car I left in space. Now let's go charge up and make the future weirder. My heart goes out to you all.
Thank you, Elon.
We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Elon's up.
Sir, this is yours. Congratulations. Your own mini.